I just want to sit here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment. I never want to leave. I'm not here for blessings. Jesus, you don't owe me anything more than anything that you can do. I just want you. I'm sorry when I've just gone through the motions. I'm sorry when I just sang another song. Take me back to where we started. I open up my heart to you. I'm sorry when I come up with my agenda. I'm sorry when I forgot that you're enough. Take me back to where we started. I open up my heart to you. I'm caught up in your presence. I just want to sit here at your feet. Caught up in this holy moment. I never want to leave. Oh, I'm not here for blessings. Jesus, you don't owe me anything, and more than anything that you can do, I just want you. I just want you and nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you. Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you. Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you. Nothing else will do. I just want you. Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. Caught up in your presence. I just want to sit here at your feet. Caught up in this moment. I never want to leave. And I'm not here for blessings. Jesus, you don't owe me anything more than anything that you can do. I just want you. Oh, I just want you. You, I just want you. just want you, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do.
Well, we just did that worship song, and I was wondering, what is it that resonates with worship for you guys? So we know worship is us living a life, right? It's not just singing.
Mhm.
And so, we don't want to get kind of stuck in the terminology.
Yeah.
We understand that it's a life that's, a life of sacrifice for God.
Mhm.
But when we talk about worship music and what is it that resonates with you um, with worship music?
Well, I think that particular song, I had that thing on repeat. I was coming back from, the hospital. I spent the weekend with my, wife's dad. He's seems to be going in the hospital more and more with sepsis, and so the time before this last one, they just didn't take care of him,
Mm.
and I had to put him in the shower. I had to ask for clean sheets, and I was on my way home that morning because I had to play worship like 5:30 in the morning. I had that thing on repeat, you know what I mean? And it just hit me, you know, nothing else, just you, more than anything that you can do. I just want you. And that had me inwardly looking like, can I say that? Can I say that, because I feel like I come to him with my long list of, I'd like this and this, you know what I mean? It's like, if I didn't have that, you know what I mean? Would that be enough? If he never did anything for me in this life, would I still be the Job of the moment and not curse him and not bail or be that one guy that you sent that reel on that if God didn't do this specific thing, he was out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can I honestly look at myself and say, man, you know, is it that I just want you or do I want all these other things that you do for me?
Mm.
And that really made me introspect. So sometimes for worship for me is, I feel um, that I want to draw closer to him. I want to worship him and put him in his proper place and put me in my proper place, because the truth is he doesn't owe me anything. He does, he's done enough. If he never does anything else, he's done enough for me.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
would I be okay with it? Would I be happy with it? Would I be, I'm sure I'd, be grumpy, but at the end of the day, can I look myself in the mirror and say, yeah, I still love him. He's done enough for me. Let me tell you what he did for me. He hasn't done anything and whatever, but he's done enough.
Yeah.
So there's part of the worship for me is, a lot of times it's alone in the car, driving, getting windshield time, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's when I really let the vocal cords loose.
No.
Yeah. Mhm. If only Ken were,
Yeah.
I could just see him now. Oh no.
You know what? I felt a little justified because a long time ago I picked up your guitar and I strummed it and you yelled out, "No, no, no."
Mm.
And he said, "I don't
It's
want them thinking that's
it's come
me."
full
Yeah.
circle.
And then as we were about to sing right now, you start singing. Ken's like, "No, no, 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 no."
I got
No, no.
this.
Throwing me off.
Let me handle this.
Throwing me off.
You just play the guitar.
Strum the proper chords.
Right. You just worry about that. Right?
It's hard because I want to like get on the actual drums and play,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but it's fun. I really like that acoustic breakdown, and that song is, it's such an interesting song. I know we threw it on you because that's not one that you had been as familiar with.
No, 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 but it isn't. I've never heard the song before. Um, I've been kind of binge listening to it for the past couple of days, but it's one of those things. For me, I'm very tactile in that sense.
Yeah.
I have to kind of sing it live a couple of times, and I feel awkward singing it out loud around the house. So it's in my head, but you got to have that mind
Yeah.
kind of body connection in order to really, because I like to kind of mess with it and
Yeah.
do things with it. So, but how about you? What kind of songs do it for you?
So I like anything that just really, like right now the song for me that I really like is What a God. Um
What a God.
yeah, and
Okay.
I just there's another song, Awesome God,
Mhm.
that was kind of redone. I love those ones right there. Worship is a time where I just everything else falls away. Like the minute the music starts to play, everything else falls away.
Mhm.
And that's what I appreciate. So like singing what a God. And I like music that definitely has, a lot of the band playing in it, right? And that have drums in there. I play the drums. So it resonates with me, you know what I mean? But I like music that really actually feels like uh it connects
Mm.
emotionally, right?
Mhm.
Like that because it gives me something to connect to.
Mm.
And so like you're talking about, your father-in-law in the hospital. There's moments, there's worship songs that take me back to moments in my life where God was very evident. And the minute I hear that, they're almost like these landmarks in life where I can
Mm.
look back and remember what God has done.
Mm.
But it takes me back when I really began to think over the years of everything God has done, and then the stress of life,
Mm.
the pressures of life,
Mhm.
it all just falls away,
Yeah.
in those moments.
Mm.
And the
Mm.
minute worship comes on, it's like my heart longs for God,
Mm.
and that's something that helps pull me back.
Mm.
But I know you connect real heavily too.
Mm.
I think some of my favorite moments are watching you worship.
Mm.
Um, no, like when you're leading, you know, you'll
Yeah.
you'll be leading and you'll get lost, and the tears will just be coming down. What
Mm.
happens in those moments for you?
Um, I think in those moments, where there's tears, like there was one time recently, fairly recently, where we were singing "Great Are You, Lord," and we had rehearsed it, and I was like, it wasn't, it was just rehearsing, didn't feel anything, and usually that song kind of does something to me. I was kind of in that moment, we're
Yeah,
kind of bitter and all that stuff, and so I was like, eh. So we just sang the song. I was like, all right, whatever. But when we sang it during the service, all of a sudden it just something, you know, I think it was the lyric really that got me. Just reminded me of who God was. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs. We pour out our praise, pour out our
Mm.
praise. It's your breath in our lungs. We pour out our praise to you only. Great are you, Lord. That's what got me. Those type of songs are what gets me, the songs that really, I wouldn't say really, the songs that kind of, um, wouldn't say identify, but I don't know what other word to say, who God is, that he's great,
yeah,
as a new convert, I know one of the songs that really used to every time I heard it was, Ancient of Days by
yeah.
Ron Canoli.
Mm.
Um, but the lyrics, every tongue in heaven and earth shall declare your glory. Every knee shall bow at your throne and worship. You will be exalted, and
That's
your
a good song.
kingdom will not pass away.
Mhm.
Just songs like that that really extol God and kind of who he is, ancient of days. Just kind of, I guess uh, they evoke a kind of wonder.
Yeah,
And really, honestly, it kind of ties back to a dream I had, which is kind of weird, but uh, this was one of those anchoring moments in my life. Angela and I were just married. I think we'd been married about a year or so, or not even that. I think it was like 6 months, 4 months. And I was having a hard time finding a job. And I just felt like a big chump. I felt like a loser, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah.
And everything that my dad was told me before, when I told him I was gonna get married, "You're a loser," pretty much. And he didn't say loser.
Mhm.
He said, your life is messed up. Marrying her, you're gonna drag her down with you, you know? You have nothing going for you. You haven't graduated. You don't have a job, all that stuff." And he wasn't being a jerk about it. He was
Mhm.
just being objective,
Yeah.
telling the truth. And so, those words came back and started ringing back and kind of haunting me now that I'm married and I can't find a job. And I remember um, we, I don't think we were trying to get pregnant, but we were wondering why we weren't pregnant. And And so I remember kind of same scenario as, when I told my dad I was going to get married, I was dejected, looked in the Bible, flipping through the pages, and came up with some scriptures, Psalms 128, Isaiah, a slew of them in Isaiah. But same kind of thing, like, God, man, how come I can't find a job? I feel like such a loser.
Yeah.
And I remember praying that night and just going to bed. And I fell asleep hard, but I had a dream, and in my dream, it was crazy weird 'cause, uh, I was walking through this neighborhood, this old neighborhood that doesn't exist anymore on Fort Huachuca, Hall Circle,
Yeah.
Mm.
and, I remember walking through Hall Circle, and, my grandfather never got to see his prayers kind of, fulfilled, and my sister and I getting saved. Um, and so I often wondered about that. And, dreams are dreams. This is a dream, right? So it's probably my subconscious or whatever. But I remember seeing this dude running past me in a tracksuit, sweat, you know what I mean? And I looked over it and I recognized it was my grandfather. And I told him, I said, "Pops, I gave my life to Christ." And he says, "I know." And he just kind of ran off, And so
Wow.
I was like, wow, that's cool. And so the dream kind of, how dreams are, you kind of shift and you're in a whole different
Yeah.
place. And that's when, the worry started to set in. I don't have a job. My wife works and she's kind of paying the bills and I feel like such a loser. And I just like, God. And all of a sudden this person kind of materialized or just kind of came out of my peripheral and just started talking to me, and I recognized the person as a person that I knew in like life,
Yeah.
right? But there was this feeling like they that's not that person. This is actually an angel, right? Weird. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
weird, right?
Mhm.
And the chat, whatever, the comments are gonna get blowed up, it's like, crazy, blah blah blah.
Well, that
Um,
part's probably true.
yeah,
He is a little crazy.
yeah.
He is a little crazy, folks.
Yeah. You know, but, I remember recognizing this person or thing or being as entity as an angel, a messenger. Um, and so I just started asking questions, like, am I really a loser? Am I gonna get a job? I mean, gosh, it's not like I'm being a slacker. I'm out there
Yeah.
all the time trying to do something. Is everything my dad said true? Is it gonna come to pass? I'm doing everything I can. Is the Lord gonna help me? I remember that being like the overarching concern. Is the Lord gonna help me? And what about children? Am I gonna have kids? Am I
Yeah.
gonna be a good all that kind of stuff. And so I can remember clearly saying, "You're gonna have a son." Okay. And in about 2 weeks, you're gonna get a job. All right, cool. Awesome. But then I was like, "Wait a minute. You're an angel. As soon as you leave me, you're gonna be in in God's presence." And I wasn't even able to complete the whole thought. You're gonna be in God's presence. You're gonna be with him. I wonder what it's like. And I'm telling you, this is gonna sound bizarre, but it happened, is I couldn't even get out. I wonder what it's like. And I don't know where I was, but I know I was in front of something that was immensely powerful. I mean, that doesn't even do justice. And I wasn't there long. I was just boom, boom, gone. And then I woke up. But I wonder what it's like. And then I woke up. But that moment that I was there and I seen this being, the the presence was so powerful. I couldn't even form a thought.
Really?
I couldn't even form a thought. I was just in awe. And so I woke up and I remembered, and I mean, that dream was 33 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember every detail. But sure enough, 2 weeks later, I got a job, and
That's
my
powerful.
first kid was my son.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know what it was, but the proof is right there. And so anyway, when I do worship, tears and all that kind of stuff, it's that same feeling of awe, like, and that's why those songs that really kind of
Exalt God
exalt
and
God.
and put God as sovereign and all
God,
these
they get
things.
me.
Yeah.
They get me.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's powerful. I mean, I think everyone can relate to, music, number one, being powerful, right?
yeah.
Whether it's worship music or just what we call secular music. It'll take you to a place and time in your life, but the beauty of worship is that it was created for God. It's mentioned in the Bible so often, you know, and I think the greatest times to worship are when it's the hardest.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when you're going through something and it's difficult just to worship, listening to both you guys, your stories, in those moments, it's just like, I wonder how many other people have those stories. Like they're going through a tough time in life and something just resonates with their spirit, and God uses that to soften your heart and begin to speak into it. I think that's incredible.
It is.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's crazy.
It's so funny because I'm sure you're probably hesitant to tell that story.
Yeah,
at times.
because people are gonna think I'm weird.
But
or did you get visited by a demon?
people. But you know what? What I will say is, I think that those are very real.
Yeah.
Those encounters, and God does give those dreams, and His Word says that will happen.
Yeah.
And I think people have just gotten so turned off by those who have abused it, but it's very evident that those are key moments in your life,
Yeah.
and that's
just
awesome.
kind of show him, it was like almost as if he was just, I don't know. I just had a question, like, I wonder what it's like, I mean, I
I
wasn't
would love that too.
anticipating anything,
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, you're going to leave me, and, you're not going to go from here and be in the presence of God. And I wonder what it's like. And I wasn't like, can I go? You know what I mean? It's just boom, whoa, and it was just, like I said, it was so, I mean, okay. uh, You've seen video and pictures of the Grand Canyon, right?
Yeah.
But when you went there,
Oh, it's different.
it's like,
you're
right?
just in awe of it, right?
Take
Like,
that and multiply it by a bazillion. And that's what I felt. I couldn't even form a thought,
Yeah.
it was just so wild. And then I woke up and it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
So like I said, that's those type of songs that really extol God get me, man. They get me good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having an experience like that would be very difficult to keep yourself remained, with, what has God done for me? What, where are you? And you look back at those moments like, oh, yeah, he showed up here. That's a reference point here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When there's a powerful moment,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That he meets you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And he just does it. You know what I mean? I wasn't seeking it.
Yeah.
I wasn't seeking it. I just went to bed kind of, God, can I get some answers?
Yeah.
you know, whenever you get around to it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
kind of desperate here.
Can you imagine what it'll be like in heaven, everyone worshiping?
Oh,
Right? Like actually at the throne of God.
And having perfect vocal
Oh,
cords.
I can't wait for that.
Oh,
I
come
can't wait
on,
for
man.
that. That's what I'm looking
Guys,
forward
all
to.
bent
You know,
It's been
Oh.
bent up for years. And
we're gonna be the loudest ones there. You know,
we're gonna be right up front.
we're looking at Ken. We're
what,
looking
if,
at Ken.
what if it gets flipped, right? What if it gets flipped? I can't sing no more.
Right, Ken. Hold on.
We got this.
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah, come on.
One of my funniest.
Here's a tambourine.
One of my funniest memories with worship is one time you had gotten hurt when you hurt your leg, so you were out, and there wasn't really anyone to lead worship at that moment.
So you did it?
No. So we had other people leading, but they're used to Ken, and so it was the altar call portion of the service, right? So we're singing, and I waved behind us to get people to continue, right?
Yeah.
So the piano player, Nathan, says he never saw me. I think he set me up. And everyone stopped playing. And so my mentality is, let me be up there worshiping so I can let me be up there and
Try to help? Or?
Yeah, not necessarily in singing, but just worshiping, right? They all stopped.
Yeah.
I kept going.
Okay.
The only one in the mic was Jesse.
You were singing?
I was singing.
Oh,
I usually so what I usually do, I would turn off my mic, right?
Yeah.
This was my worst nightmare. This literally, you know how you have you get in front of people, you're like, I hope my zipper is not unzipped or anything. This was my thing. Like, I don't ever want to sing in front of people, and I don't know why. First off, why does anyone completely stop? Usually you fade out, right?
Well, here's the thing. I think the song was headed towards like a crescendo.
Yes.
And you were thinking everybody was going to drown you out because you were like going with it.
Yes.
And so they didn't go with it.
I went full force.
They backed off. And he's out
not
there.
only were you the only one singing, but you were singing full force.
Yes.
In the wrong key.
And listen, I must have kept going. I kept going, and I was hoping they would just fall back
Join in?
They didn't do nothing. They just watched.
Oh gosh, it was like,
and so I abandoned it. I wouldn't even say mid note, mid screech. I abandoned it.
It was like a month ago or so. I was playing the drums,
and
I got used to looking at the confidence monitor, whatever they call that.
Yeah.
Instead of just staring at the song leader, where we're going next. You know what I mean? So I was looking up there, and it was what I would have thought would have been the end, but there was more words. So I kept the beat going. I'm looking at, and I wasn't looking at anyone else. And then I looked over, and Marco was just staring at me.
Were you the only one playing?
Well, no, they were playing, but they were like, bro, what's going on? I was like, all right, I'm dumb. I'm silly.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, I never felt more abandoned.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You want to know something that'll crush your ego? Is I remember one time back at the other church, Pastor Al had chosen this song, and it's just a regular song, but except for one part, and it started off with this high note, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, Ken, can you do that? Practice? Good. Right on." We get to church, and I hit that note, and I started yodeling. All I could do is just close my eyes, smile, and just keep going with the flow.
Think there's a recording of that?
Service
You think there's a recording of that we could tap into?
Maybe there is, but oh man, that was embarrassing. Man.
Oh
that
man.
Well, I tell you what's embarrassing is when you have to start a song and you got to get the tempo right. And if you don't get that right,
you said it,
man. I can remember doing an acoustic set. Me and another guy were playing acoustic, and the singer, and it was a new song to us, right? So,
practice. You playing fast?
No, it was just a little off, and he had to stop the song. Hold on. He pulled out his phone, played it for me,
During the service?
Not during service. Oh,
I was like,
oh,
he's like,
Lord.
Here's your hat,
Mm.
nose cap, go sit in the corner.
I think I just looked down. Like,
Well, you know,
Yeah, it was
none of us are professional
no, not at all.
musicians or singers, but I think we all just have a heart for it, you know. And I will say that as the years have gone on, when we worship though, and like you get in that moment, I love it. When you fall into, you know, I'll be on the drums and I'll see you on the guitar, and you know, Ken, if you're leading or singing, when you just hit that moment of we're here to worship God.
Yeah.
Like and I'm not a person who's like go verse 1 then verse 2 verse 3 and chorus and bridge, like
Structured.
yeah, and I don't mind, you need it to some degree, but
Sure.
I also like the ability to just be able to break off, right? Like when
Improvise.
yes, to be able to, you know, when the song's coming to a close, but God's spirit is still moving, you know, and
Yeah.
there's a difference between forcing it, right? Like, you know, when you're forcing it, the congregation isn't singing, you know, everyone's ready to sit down, or, you know, and it's not those moments. It's the moments where it's like God is still moving. And I love just being able to have sensitivity to that
Yeah.
and continue.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to find, you know, when you're with other musicians too.
Sure.
But when you're with a group who you have good chemistry with, it's a lot of fun.
I think it's hard to get there because the anxiety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's safety and structure, but you have to also learn to feel the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to know the song, you have to learn to feel it, learn to, you know, like weave in and out of it. I don't really know how to explain it. I just know how to explain kind of like what I feel, and what I do is be comfortable enough with, you know, the general, what's it called? Melody,
Yep.
to be able to kind of flow in and out and, you know, just improvise, kind of like jazz, you know what I mean? And just express. I heard a saying, I don't know if I said it before, but this person explained it really well. It was just perfect. Sing to express, not impress. But that can go for anything.
Sure.
Playing, because that's what really makes something stand out, is you expressing it. But it has to be, you know, it has to be in you first, and then, I mean, I like the studio version, right? But at the same time, I want to know what you're about. You know what I mean? How do you, you know, and not just that, but there's a yearning for me anyway when I'm singing I want to. There's some things that are in there that I don't know how to articulate, but I can express them. You know what I mean? And I think somebody was telling me that time where, you know, that you know, crying and all that kind of stuff. They had articulated it as emoting, right? But it was just really is just expression of gratitude, and that's what it was. It was expression of gratitude, um, of awe of who God was, gratitude that He loves me and He still messes with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
He allows you to nail it during practice, but then during or you have your emotions in check way up to the point of actual worship. Then
you know what I'm saying? And it was just a mixture, and that's what that was. It was just gratitude and gratefulness and thankfulness and awe, and just, my God, you're such a great God.
Yeah.
And you're fooling with me. You know what I mean?
I one of the things I appreciate with smaller churches, because, you know, when you get larger churches, they're professional. Most of them are professional at that point. And but when it's smaller, I really feed off of everybody else, right? Like what God is doing in that moment. And I genuinely feel like we're worshiping together.
Yeah.
Right. So like you can hit, you know, something on your guitar that'll spark me, or you can start singing, you know, like you can hit a note or something that just that connects with me. And then I'll start playing, you know, and I think and that's when I think it's beautiful, is like we're all creating something to worship for God.
Yeah.
You know, because when to be clear, whenever I'm up here playing, the way I don't feel like I'm up here just to lead
Mhm.
other people, you know, oh, we're the worship team, so
Mm.
so you guys can listen or enjoy the service. No, we're here as a congregation to worship God, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And so granted we might be on stage,
Mhm.
but I'm still trying to connect with everybody out there to worship with them, right?
Mhm.
Like we're here for the same purpose.
Right.
Mhm.
So
How do you guys address the balance between performance and expression on an instrument or singing, right? Because I think we've all probably been in some worship services where it just, whether we're a part of it or not, just like, yes, seemed like we were just performing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How do you guys look at that? You know, the difference between performance and, you know, playing well and expressing well.
so I think it's a balance. First of all, I think that's a good question that
Mhm.
a lot of people wrestle with. And I think it's a balance, right? And some of it is subjective,
Mhm.
right? Because there's people who are like, you should not have any instruments in a
Mhm.
worship service. You drums are evil, you know.
Mhm.
There's
Worldly.
yeah, you know,
Mhm.
all it can be is an organ, right? Or
Mhm.
you know, so some of it is subjective. But the way I approach it is, I believe that I'm going to give my very best. But if
Mhm.
there's ever a point where I'm doing it to show off,
Mm.
Mhm.
or I'm doing it, or it's taking attention away from what we're trying to do.
Mhm.
And that could be two ways it takes attention away. You're not prepared
Yes.
and you don't know it.
Correct.
That can take attention away. Or you're doing too much in
Mhm.
there, right?
Right.
But if I'm doing it out of a heart to worship, and I'm not that great anyways, but you know, if I'm doing fills or something,
Mm.
and as long as my heart is to worship, I'm going to continue in it, right? And
Right.
again, it is still like I am very conscious of making sure I'm connecting with what's happening out, whatever's happening on the stage, you know.
Sure.
But in my mind, I'm going to give my best, you know.
Mhm.
But if it ever crosses where it's about me,
Mhm.
or I can't wait to, you know, show off,
Mhm.
and then I have to pull back.
Yeah.
I have a lot of the same ideas. it where it originates from, the motivation that it originates from, is it you know, because sometimes I'll have to check myself. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'll hear something and I'll be like, boy, that
Mhm.
when they hear this, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and
So
it might be a good.
it might be
You might have
good.
struck something really
It
good.
might be good, but it might be, so I have to
Mm.
it's like an antivirus. It's constantly running,
Mhm.
and I'm constantly checking and balancing, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's a constant fear of mine. That's why I'm always asking, did I do too much that day? Is that okay?
Yeah.
But ultimately, I know what are my motivations. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? If my motivation is just hands up, Lord, it's all about you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Not, oh my gosh, I gotta make something happen. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's pretty dead in here. Oh my gosh, you know, or wow, this I am feeling it today. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Yeah.
I've never said that when I'm singing, but
I know. Man.
Well, I do every now and again when I hit a right note. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, you did.
Hey,
You got that
hey,
one
and
right.
you know what?
You
That's
got that
okay.
one right.
That one's all right. That's okay. You know, man. All right, bro. All right, cool.
Thank you, Lord.
But when it's like, wait till they get a load of me. You know what I mean? Then it's like, ooh, let me check myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I had to stop playing for a while. You know, this was back in like 2012 time frame,
Mm-hmm.
and I was playing the drums, and the only motivation I had for going was to play drums.
Yeah.
And I had realized I had drifted so far, and during that time, a lot was happening personally. You know, we had dealt with loss,
Mhm.
and there was a lot of frustration, a lot of miscarriages, and so during that time, I was angry with God. I wasn't in my Bible. I wasn't praying. I was drifting,
Mm.
but I was playing drums.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I remember I was like, I need to step back. Like I
Mhm.
need to take a break.
Yeah.
And it was important that I did because the only reason I was up there was for me. That there was no other reason that I was playing drums. That was hard too because that was part of my identity, you know. And
Jesse the drummer.
Yeah, like, and I enjoyed it. I had a lot of
Mhm.
fun, and again, I don't consider myself as one of the best drummers out there, but I love it. I
Mhm.
love worshiping. I
Mhm.
love being part of the worship team and
Mhm.
playing. But I realized this is backwards.
Mhm.
Like, this is wrong. And God, I'm grateful that God convicted me and I could still respond.
Mm.
And it was like, before you get up there, we've got to do some business.
Yeah.
And that was hard to do, though, to actually step away,
Mhm.
and realize I'm not ready. I need God to do some work on me, because my motivation right now is not to
Mhm.
worship God.
Yeah. And I think also, one thing that I used to do as a worship leader is sort of manage expectations. And what I mean by that is, um, there are certain, expectations like, we gotta really do this and make something happen,
Mhm.
right? Or if something incredible doesn't happen, then God didn't show up. Or, so
You
I
put that pressure on yourself?
well, I think the whole team individually would do that.
Mm.
And so, and then me as well. And I was feeling it. So I'm sure. And so what I was like, I would start off as, hey, we're just gonna bring our best to God. And if God does something crazy and awesome, praise God. And if he doesn't, then we're just gonna worship him anyway and sing some
Mm.
songs and worship God and have a good time
Yeah.
and give him glory. And that'll be that. But if anybody if God if anybody is gonna do anything, it's gonna be God. And we're just
Yeah.
gonna be waiting on him.
Mm.
We're gonna be instruments in his hand. He's gonna do what he wants to do or
Right.
not what he wants to do.
Mhm.
I can't stand when you're in a service, and we've all probably been there,
Yeah.
and you're singing the chorus or the bridge for the 100th time,
Yeah.
and everyone wants the service to end, or
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
all right, can we be
Land this
done?
plane.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and it just won't. And
Stop.
and the worship leader is unaware,
Mhm.
or
See, that's where it
you know,
becomes performance
yeah,
or
or trying to
I've
force.
gotta
Yeah,
make something
I gotta
happen
like,
to have some
yeah, the people aren't
validation.
there. Yeah, and I appreciate that you would do that,
Yeah.
because God still shows up,
Mhm.
even on services where it's not emotional
Mhm.
and heavy during worship.
Mhm.
Sometimes it can be just about joy and
Mhm.
praising God. You sit
Mhm.
down and hear a good message and go home and never have a tear leave your eye.
Yeah.
Worship isn't about,
Yeah.
creating that feeling.
Mhm.
It's about the posture of your heart.
Mhm.
Are you actually worshiping God? Like you said, like that, I think that dream that you had, that's probably such a powerful image when you go to worship
Mm.
too, like, that's who I'm worshiping. And we could get lost in trying to manufacture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When people try to manufacture, it's like,
Just stop.
let's just stop, because God is doing something.
He's
He's not doing what you want.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right there.
Yeah. And in effect, you're trying to control him like, you know, through what?
Mhm.
Hitting the right chord,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Or sing the right tune in a certain
I
way.
remember you sang a song, and I think it was a Revelation song.
Yeah. And that's another one I wanted to mention is Revelation song.
Revelation song.
Mhm.
Yeah, like that one.
Holy, holy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll sing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll sing it. You might have to do some
Yeah.
fancy editing if you got one of them EQs that can change the pitch.
No, I remember you did a song, and it hit the service, and it just felt incredible. So then the song leader at that time put it on the song list for like 5 weeks.
Oh, geez.
And that was hard, because it was,
Mhm.
I mean, I think there was definitely that heart, like, oh, that was incredible.
Yeah.
But you can't
Where your
force
heart,
that. You
where
can't
your
force it.
heart was to worship, and it just so happened to be that song, and he met you there. And so
Yeah.
the formula now is that song.
Yeah, but yeah, you're missing the other.
Yeah,
you're missing
the other
aspect
ingredients.
of God moving.
Mhm.
Of God, what His
Mhm.
Spirit is doing in that moment too. And so, but I think worship is incredible. I think it's an incredible part of service. I think it's a blessing.
Mhm.
To hear different songs. I have to say, whenever I really do feel like I'm in a funk,
Mm.
I have to check what I've been listening to.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
like, and then it's like, you know what, I need a worship. I need to
Yeah.
put on
Mhm.
some music, and it really, I mean, I think of Saul. King Saul, right? In the Bible, he had that tormenting spirit, but it would subside the minute David would start to worship, right? When he would begin to play his harp. And there's something music does where, when life is hard and when things are going crazy, you put worship songs on and music, and it just begins to settle your heart.
Yeah.
And there's clarity. It's like all of a sudden there's clarity there.
Yeah.
Music has that effect on you, and it elicits emotions.
Yeah.
Right? It like a really sad blues song can move you. There are some music styles and that can elicit those emotions. It's we're wired to react to music. I can't explain that, but it has that effect on us.
Yeah.
I would encourage anyone to. I know we laugh about it, and it is funny. Some of us are not blessed with singing voices, but when you get together and you do worship in the church corporately, honestly, just sing with abandonment. Like those that are on, they have mics and they'll help lead and help try to keep the key there. But when you join, go and sing. Go and worship.
Suddenly, there's no one around you in church service. I can remember a time I was, in the church service. I wasn't playing or anything, but I felt I was worshiping. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I was dancing, and I had my eyes closed, and I was really getting into it. And I must have been moving because when I opened my eyes again, I'm facing the wrong direction. It's like, I don't know how long I was facing my brother. They're getting nervous. Like, dude, the stage is that way, man.
Like slapping them in their face with your hand.
Right. I opened my eyes. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I need to face this way.
Yeah.
But I felt, I threw off.
Oh man.
I just abandoned what everyone was thinking, and I just worshiped. But it was like, it was a humbling point. Open your eyes, like sideways, literally.
But God's moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was a couple of that happens to me. It happened to me a lot too. There's a couple of times in the service. I don't know if I was leading the whole service or just one song, but and now I'm gonna kind of sound a little charismatic, but just it would just get heavy, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how I don't know how the song would end, or if it maybe was playing in the background, but I just was like, I would just start kind of, I wouldn't say prophesying, but just kind of proclaiming, and you know what I'm saying? And I thought I was facing but I'm kind of halfway looking at the wall, But
that wall needed to hear that.
No, everyone was thinking the Lord must be over there.
Sometimes I'll get lost and close my eyes, and the one time I realized I was lost in worship and closing my eyes, and I shouldn't have been, is when I opened my eyes and I realized we're going way too fast in the song.
Oh, you were playing.
I was playing, and my eyes were closed, and I was just I don't know what was happening, but I was
in it, man.
I was in it way too much. Afterwards, Ken's like, we rapped that song.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the charge of modern day worship being narcissistic in some cases?
What do you mean by that? I mean, like, I'm great.
Well, yeah,
it's more the I focused, right?
Yeah.
Like, so where the debate is hymns and older worship focused solely on Christ.
Yeah.
And then if you look at today's worship, a lot of it has I and me and what it's doing for me, as opposed to just worshiping God.
I heard somebody say that a lot of the lyrical content of modern worship songs is more just like prayers.
Well,
they're not really worshiping,
Yeah. So one of the tests that they put it up to, in that debate is, if we were to remove God from it, or even just say that this is not a worship song, would it sound like a love song to somebody?
Yeah.
You know, because it's been romanticized
Mm.
as opposed to true worship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting is I can remember that same debate happening in the early 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not without merit. I mean, there are it's like, all right already, you know what I mean? But I guess there should be a good ratio, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
15% of the I me's
Yeah.
and or 20%, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But sometimes it gets a little too me, I, right?
Yeah.
But however, that isn't to say that every song is just like you need to lambast it as such. For example, there's a prominent Christian teacher, and he, for some reason, decided to take aim at the song "Friend of God." You know
I am a
how,
friend of God.
yeah, how
I am.
incredibly narcissistic to say
Oh, I heard
and
that.
sing
Okay.
and all that, and it was like I wasn't the only one, but I responded. It was on Facebook. I wasn't the only one, but everybody responding to him was like, "What is wrong with you, bro?
Yeah.
That's not what this song is. It's not about me, I. It's about me being in awe that you, God of all gods, the universe and everything, considers me a friend."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's me being in awe that you call me friend. What?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, how can you even read that into that song? First of all, what is wrong with you that
Yeah,
you are?
that's how you took it. Yeah.
Are you an enemy of God? Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
it's like it's wrong for me to be, in
Yeah.
awe that God considers me a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is mind blowing.
Yeah.
It makes me want to just worship him even more. You know,
I
But-
heard someone recently say, I'm just going to say it, man, but for Calvinists, every day is trash day. Every day is trash day. They're going to be
Pretty much.
trashing something and taking something out,
Yeah.
and then on the other end,
Yeah.
the charismatic, it's never trash day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But,
That's right.
it's like, yeah, sometimes if people don't find something to trash and take it
Yeah.
out, I mean,
Yeah.
they're not having a good day or something.
Yeah.
I
But it
thi-
was just bizarre. I was like, what is wrong with you, dude?
I definitely think there's a balance, right? I do think that it's turned off a lot of men too from
Yeah.
worship,
Yeah.
right? When it
Yeah.
does become very emotional all the time.
Well,
right?
yeah, and I think one of the accusations was feminized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
But on the same token, I think there has to be it just has to be a balance, right? Because the question is, I think you have to ask, is it biblical? Number one,
Mm-hmm.
So what we're singing actually biblical?
Mm-hmm.
And does it honor God? And those things have to be in place,
Or
right?
do we have to take it out with the trash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John MacArthur said, and he's he can be pretty heavy-handed,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I heard him say that there are some theologically sound people that write terrible worship songs,
Yeah.
and there's some people that are not theologically sound that write some really good worship songs.
Right.
If it's good, sing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought, man, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a
because
good perspective.
yeah, it's a great person, and from the person that was saying it was like, because he can be pretty heavy-handed,
Right. Right.
in my opinion.
Mhm.
I think where the modern church has gone wrong is that they've created celebrities out of worship pastors,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So what has happened is they have platformed people whose character, whose life does not align with what they're singing,
Mm-hmm.
but they have the talent,
Mhm.
right? And that's where that's where I think you have to be careful.
Mm.
But how did you balance that? Because you've been a worship leader.
Yeah.
You do lead worship periodically. How do you balance that when you're choosing songs?
Well, there are some songs that just kind of, I in everything pretty much. I kind of, I'm kind of led by my instinct, and if it rings true, and then I'll examine lyrics from time to time. Right. But yeah, there are some that are they're too me focused. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Mhm.
there's very little exaltation of God in there. And so I guess that's kind of what I use. Now I do like a song that is on the no-no list, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I think it's on the no-no list because of a particular line. Heaven meets earth like a unforeseen kiss, or
Yeah.
sloppy wet
Sloppy
kiss.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the song,
just
the
change it.
gist of the song is he loves us.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
he really loves us, you
Yeah.
know,
Mm.
like undying love, not a
Yeah.
wishy-washy love.
I think they get hung up on the word reckless too.
Reckless, yeah.
But but they're singing it from our
Yeah.
perspective
Mhm.
of how we view it. And
Mhm.
in my mind, I mean, when the part of me is like, okay, after the explanation, I was
Mm.
good with it,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Because the explanation from the writer was, you know, God's love to us is reckless. Like we would not love people that way
Sure.
because we would get hurt,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And so when we view it, it's reckless. Now we understand that because it's God,
Mhm.
he's not being reckless,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, but
Mm.
But from our perspective,
Mm.
yeah,
he is,
Yeah.
yeah.
according to what we know.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
reckless.
Yeah.
But in God, you know, he's like, no, I got it.
And I
Well,
mean, and for me, I mean, the Bible says it clearly, you know, that it's going to seem foolish to man.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think that song's conveying. Like, oh,
Mhm.
it seems so foolish to us, but he still loves us
Yeah.
despite that.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
that's a good one.
I would think that his love could be categorized as scandalous,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I mean, if an extreme example, if Hitler were to repent on his deathbed,
Mm-hmm.
God would forgive him.
Sure.
That's pretty scandalous to some people.
A
That's
lot
like,
of people
no,
had-
that would, I mean, he's crossed too far. He's beyond the hand and arm of God. He cannot save him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, well, you're just as scandalous to think that his arm is somehow shortened. He can't reach him.
Yeah.
Or he's not true to his word. Like a lot of people had a problem with Jeffrey Dahmer, the idea of Jeffrey Dahmer being saved.
Yep.
You know, I have an article that I that I kept from 96, I think it was. And it was a Episcopalian guy, but he was examining Christendom's reaction to Jeffrey Dahmer being in heaven and maybe some of his victims not making it there. And so he was kind of looking at their reactions, took a poll, how many people thought that, you know, they were going to heaven. What were the chances of them going to heaven? What were the chances of them personally maybe going to hell? You know what I mean? And it was so skewed.
Yeah.
You know, it did not reflect what the Bible says. And that's what his whole point was.
Right.
Is what does the Bible say about this, you know? But yeah.
Scandalous.
It
Scandalous.
could be, you know, that word
characterized
could fit.
it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. But if we sang a song, a worship song, his love is scandalous. I mean, trash day, you're out, man. I'm going to escort you right out the building.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit more lenient than some. Like I could listen to worship. So like some people really had a problem with the song "So Will I," because it says like 100 billion times. It has that in lyrics, and so they're like it's referring to evolution. And
Is he 100 billion times?
I don't know. I didn't look into the claims as much. What it was saying, but But there's songs like that they do resonate, and part of me is almost like, okay, if it's going to be a controversy in the church,
then just don't do it.
Then don't do it. All right,
Look,
I'm fine with that. It doesn't bug. I'm not going to be the one that necessarily is bugged by it as much.
Right.
But I also believe that God gives other people discernment too.
Sure.
Right. So some people have that discernment to know, like, hey, this is healthy or not. And so because I don't have that, I just kind of submit to, okay.
Well, and we're called.
I trust others.
We're called to make other people more important. If eating meat causes my brother to stumble, then I don't eat meat.
Yeah.
If singing this song offends my brother, then
that's hard.
I'll just sing a different song, and there's probably some balances. Then we won't sing any songs because it's going to offend at least one person.
That's the hard part because listen, the worship team and the sound guy, poor sound guy gets it worst, right? But you get criticized for,
Mhm.
you know, if you're a worship leader, you know,
Yeah.
you didn't dress a certain way, right?
Mm.
The drums were too loud.
Sure.
How many times have
I
I
have-
heard
I
the
have
song
a-
selection? You know,
I have a funny story
Yeah.
about the sound guy.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, I don't, you know, I'm sure
yeah.
that
I know this
position
story.
is hard,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And when you're in a smaller building, you have to try to kind of control, because if you got the amps, they got to kind of control the noise. You know what I mean? You don't want to overload the speakers and such. And so they would get into the habit. I mean, at the time I was playing the electric guitar,
Mhm.
and they would always say, "Turn down, turn
I
down."
already know where this is going.
And I turned down so much, I unplugged my guitar. I had the cord
your
on
electric guitar.
my electric guitar. I unplugged it, put the cord around my lap, and I was still getting down.
Mhm.
And I don't know what they were hearing, or if they just saw me, you know, getting down or something. But turn down. And then I was like, you know, finally I just showed him the chord. I'm not even playing, man. Like, you know, so yeah, that position's hard.
They
you
didn't
know,
like that you were worshiping.
it's something.
They're like,
you know,
no,
it's like,
listen, he's
you
having
know,
too
it's
much
like-
fun up there.
Well,
Okay.
exactly. You know, it was like, I couldn't believe I unplugged the thing and I showed him the chord. I'm not even playing, man.
They
You-
caught
you
the,
still
they
need to
caught
turn
the
down.
spirit of Michael or Mikal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dancing before the Lord.
I'll be yet more vile. Come on. I'm going to start to bite my bottom lip. I'm going to play this guitar reckless.
Oh man, you know, worship. I think probably every worship team has their funny stories, you
Yeah.
know, because everyone has an opinion,
Yeah.
you know, and ultimately, I think you got to, if you're attending a church, and God's put you there, just trust your your leaders. If you want to give some suggestions, that's fine, but be willing to step in and help too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? You know, be
Right.
willing to get up and sing. Then be willing to go. And I don't know how to play an instrument. Go play an instrument. You know, go learn it.
You
Then
just piqued Ken's like, wait, be willing to sing. Well, what? No, that's not for you.
No, but no, but my point being, everybody wants
Others
to
may, but
criticize.
you cannot. Others may be able to sing freely. We cannot.
Especially you.
No, but you know, everyone wants to criticize, but it's like, well,
Mhm.
go learn an instrument. You
Mhm.
know, go spend some time doing it then, and learn how hard it is. Learn how hard it is for you to spend time learning the chords and everything, and then to get up and sing it, and only for somebody to be like, I didn't like that song.
Mm.
You know, it's like,
Mhm.
well,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I think as a musician, because look, I mean, you can request a song or hey, suggest a song or something like that, but I mean, the song leader, you know, it's their job. They got to lead it, so they choose them. So
yeah.
you really have to make the song yours,
Mm.
own it. You know what I mean? How you strum, how you can complement what's the style of
I have to
people
say,
playing.
sometimes I like messing around up there.
Mm.
I will
You know?
say do that periodically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll break it down to like a half beat,
Mm.
you know, or you know,
Does
just
that
do
mess with
something.
people?
It just changes the tempo or like the way, you know,
Yeah,
and or go a little bit, you know, just something, just period. I like to do it.
Just throw one in there.
Yeah, just
Mhm.
periodically.
I tell you what, if I'm on the drums, and the song will kind of fade, the drums will drop out, and then they'll continue. And if they sing it too long, then
You got to come back.
I'm coming back. And I'll start slow. Just warn you,
Mm.
I'm coming in here.
Yeah.
If you don't land this plane, I'm getting on it, and we're gonna build this thing up. And then,
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do right now, I'll do the chimes. Look at
Mhm.
John.
heck
Like,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of people were saved that day.
Yeah.
Do the chimes.
There's something about those chimes that just open up the doors of heaven.
Mm.
Yeah.
They're like the wings of an angel.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have that moment. And what did you say? What would it be like to be there? Oh,
Yeah.
those chimes.
Gold dust.
I do feel bad sometimes because sometimes I will be a little mischievous, I feel like.
Mm.
Let's end with this.
Mm.
Okay. What is your favorite worship song? And give a worship song from maybe your early days, or an older one, and maybe one that's more newer that's resonating with you.
Well, I think the one we did is probably the one that really has got me.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. Yeah, sorry. Lately, I mean, that's the one that has captured my my attention and has made me reflect on some
Yeah.
things internally, and and some of the old ones. I mean, I can remember, for lack of better example, Jehovah Jireh, my provider. You know what I mean? Some of those old
Yeah,
songs,
just like,
and some of those worship services. I'm telling you guys, Beatrice was a master of the tambourine. I mean, she was on it.
listen, I believe it is a sin to pass out tambourines in church now. You have to apply.
Yeah.
To have
Many
that.
people miss the mark when they play it.
Yeah.
But when they'd hit it, it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so
Some of the older,
Yeah.
some of the stuff that when I came, I mean, the fellowship was my first church experience, really. And
So they
so
have a lot of
some of those songs were instrumental, and then maybe when Ken turned us on to Ron Canoli, Making War, that was a great song.
War in the
And
Heavenlies.
there was a time when the church was doing a spiritual warfare, and I suggested it. Way out of our element, but we tried it, and we did the best we could, and we had a good time with it.
Yeah.
It was fun to play.
Yeah.
It was, but I mean, I'm pretty. I guess I'm pretty. I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to worship songs and styles, and what I mean. Some of the lyrical content will catch me. Some of the slower ones will catch me. But I like some of the upbeat ones.
Yeah.
What's that one? Came out of that grave, and I came out of that grave.
Graves in the Gardens?
No, it's
no.
but that one's a upbeat song, and Glorious Day.
Okay.
It's a driving drum, you know what I mean? But it's a good song, and I can resonate to the words to it, you know. So there's my 2 cents.
I think from the early days would have to be Ancient of Days. And then maybe after that, what you call Revelation song really struck a chord. And then songs that I've been kind of listening to on repeat is Trey McLaughlin. He's got like a bunch of songs that he does covers of. But Come to the Altar, to the Altar, yeah. Those are songs that if they came on, I wouldn't fast forward.
Yeah. I liked growing up. I liked Jesus, Lover of My Soul, and then I liked Better's One Day. Better's One Day was probably my teenage years where that was really huge. And then, like I said, I really like the song "What a God" right now. But the other song that I really enjoyed for a long time was "Tremble" by Mosaic. That was a really good one. And the Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble.
Okay.
Man, that I love songs that just say the name of Jesus too. Like it's great.
And then there's a couple of Third Day songs. Your Love, O Lord.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, reaches to the heavens. Your faithfulness stretches to the sky.
He has a unique voice.
He does.
He had that song about the thief on the cross.
Yeah,
that was really. It was one of their worship albums. Starts off, "I am a thief, I'm a murderer." Oh man, that got me every time.
And then there's another one. What was it? He it was a Third Day song, but he sang it with somebody else. Kind of, he had a feat with another group. I can't remember what they were. Lord of Heaven and Earth.
Oh, that was Michael Tate.
Lord of all creation, water, earth, and sky.
Oh, that's a good
tabernacle.
That's a good song. I've had a good time worshiping and singing and I didn't sing, but
I tried
hearing
to
you
sing.
and just being able to talk about it. Honestly, even talking about worship and how good God is just uplifting. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you both. I love doing worship with both you guys. John, you got to come back. You broke that 3-chord strand.
I did.
But you got to get back here and but it's always great. And but we want to thank everybody for listening to the Average Bros podcast. We're just a few average dudes trying to serve an extraordinary God a little more faithfully each day. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Later.